Hey, what's up, fathers? I wanted to give you a recap, just touch base with you, and also let you know about what we have coming up because we have some different speakers and opportunities coming up. Want to make sure you guys are aware of them and could take advantage of if you wanted to. So, this last week, we talked about the role of a father. And so, the first few weeks, we've been talking about things just in general that pertain to manhood and relationships, and it's good to discuss those things that talk maybe more so about like a partner relationship than children, because obviously it takes two to make one and raise one as well. So we wanted to address that and make sure that we're working on those things and have some skills to have healthy relationships with our partners. Now we're going to get more into the role of the father, and so we talked about the father that we had, the example that was set for us coming up, both good and bad. We talked about memories that we had of our father, and then also we addressed the ideal traits and duties of a father. And I think it's really good to have that ideal father in mind, and as a goal, and a stretch goal, something that really can't be achieved but is good to measure yourself against, is that ideal father. Like, what would you do if you were being the best father you could be? I say that because fathering is a 24/7 job, and you have good days and you have bad days. For instance, you guys that came know that I went to the Chris Brown concert on Wednesday with my wife. He's a good dancer and all that stuff, but I wouldn't pay that kind of money to go see him normally. But anyways, went to that and got home late, was tired, so I wasn't the best father on Thursday. Yeah, I got my kids off to school and all that, but afterwards I pretty much wanted them to just go sit down somewhere and be quiet. So wasn't an ideal father on Thursday, and it's good for me to understand that, because I can now use that as motivation to do better today. So maybe I didn't really do anything with you guys yesterday, but today I'll be more interactive with my children and try to be that ideal father, or the best father I can be today. So I encourage everybody else to do that too. Just think of what is an ideal father. This is especially important for those of you that are expecting and maybe don't have children yet. Is what kind of father do you want to be? Because if you have a plan, you're far more likely to actually fulfill that plan than if you have no plan at all and you just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. So put together a little plan, even if it's just mentally, what kind of father you want to be, what sort of things you want to do, what sort of things do you want to provide for your children, financially, emotionally, spiritually. Then another thing is, we talked about a father's role as security, providing security, letting our children feel safe and secure, letting our spouse, our girlfriends feel safe and secure in the house. I think that's a fundamental duty of a father, of a man in the house, is to make sure everybody feels safe and secure. But it's not just your physical safety, not making sure that you are physically protecting them, but how are you protecting them emotionally? How are you protecting them spiritually? And think of that too. How can you do that for your family today? How can you do that this week? How can you make sure that they feel safe around you emotionally? How can you make sure that your household is a safe space for them to express themselves emotionally? So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about this week. And we will give every father who gives us a proof of a completed habit, a completed task on the Seed app, you will get tickets to Six Flags. And I think it was Dre that asked, was it that Spook Fest or whatever, Fright Fest? And I've asked a question to Six Flags for that, and I haven't gotten a response back yet, but I'll let you guys know. But that's something we want to do. We want to reward you for taking steps, for achieving, for reaching goals. We want to reward you for that, because that's what we need to do as fathers and as men, and that's what we need to demonstrate for our children to ensure that they're going to do the same thing in their lives. So we're going to be really taking a close look on how we can do that in a very systematic way, and create the kind of life we want to achieve our goals. We will have more rewards coming up very soon, and I will let you know as soon as those are secured. We do have next week somebody that's going to talk to us about reading to your children, and she normally gives us plenty of little goodies to walk away with. Last time I walked away with a shirt, long sleeve tee, and which is nice, that I will wear as soon as it cools down, and a book. And there's some children books and things like that. So you definitely want to come take a look at that. Invite a dad. Those of you that do that, I really appreciate that. Please share this and let others, be their best selves and be the best father they can be. So share that, please. Then the week after that, we will also have Mr. Johnson, who works with child support. He'll be able to answer any questions you have about child support, address any fears that we have about being put on child support, so you know exactly what a significant other can do, or maybe a baby mama can do to collect child support. So it's knowledge is power, and he gives us a lot of that and helps us feel a little bit better about the possibility of child support and what that's going to look like for you. So a lot of good stuff coming up in the coming weeks. Let me know if you guys have any questions, have anything to share, or have any concerns or needs. Be happy to try to help you out with those. You guys have a great week, great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.